Hey guys, what's going on? Greenville Gear. I wanted to do a video I've been thinking about doing for a while, just as kind of a quick showcase and kind of some of my thoughts on PSA versus SGC slabs and sort of some of the advantages and disadvantages, because I've started to have kind of a conversion, and I'm not an expert on this. I've actually never submitted any cards for submission, although that's coming soon. If you've watched some of my other videos, I've got a few of these raw tobacco cards from T206 that I'm going to submit, but I want to get the number that I need for the shipping and all that kind of stuff. So I'm close, but I'll track that in some other videos. But I have for a long time, and if you watch the videos, you know this, I've kind of collected T206 cards, and I've sort of upgraded my collection. Just to give you an example, kind of getting commons at PSA 4 or better, and collecting a few Hall of Famers, but my real focus is on the portraits. I just like the portrait cards, and so this is Frank Delahanty, Piedmont 350 anyway. So I've built up a nice collection, and I've done some showcases of that. I think I'll do some more revisiting of that. And so basically all the slabs that I have are PSA slabs, and I really like the slab. It's good. It works. I like that they're pretty stackable. I've got them in these sleeves. But here's what I'm noticing. And so for the purposes of this video, I've got actually the same player in a pretty comparable card. It's not the same, but this is the Harry Hinchman card in an SGC slab, an SGC 3, and a PSA 4. And so the more that I think about it, and the more that I look at the cards, especially in the slab, and by the way, this is a little deceiving, right? Because clearly the SGC card of the Hinchman is like nicer registration, right? Seems like a better card to me, even though it's got a lower grade. So buy the card, not the grade, right? In fact, last night I was bidding on a card that was a PSA 4, but it had a crease right here, and I just was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Okay, so back to this PSA SGC. While every one in my collection is PSA, I've just picked this one up, and I've got a couple others I think on the way. I think SGC, especially for the vintage stuff, seems to be the better option. I think the slab looks better. I think the black matte canvas is nice. I think the size of the slab is nice. It's slightly taller, as you can maybe see here, although I'm trying to... It's just a smidge taller. See that? It's a little heftier, too. I'm such a nerd. I actually weighed these, right? With my postal scale for mailing out packages and stuff. The PSA slab is, if you're curious, 1.6 ounces. The SGC slab is 2.3 ounces. So it just feels like heftier. It just feels more substantive to me. Now, there are disadvantages to the SGC slab, I've noticed, if you watch this. The cards kind of move around a little bit more than I'd like, where it seems like in the PSA slabs, they don't. They're really kind of locked in. But I'm really having this conversion. I'm interested in your comments and your thoughts on this. I know there's lots of vintage collectors and people certainly who know a lot more about this than I do. But it seems like a perennial debate between PSA and SGC. And in my own collecting, and again, I'm just a collector. Like, what do I know? But it seems to me that the SGC holder is really starting to emerge as a favorite for me. Also, I like this new design, flip, whatever we call it, with the big number. The old green one is fine, but I really like this new flip. So I just like it. And on the back, there's the back comparison. So there's not as much on the SGC. It's just cleaner, I think. There's disadvantages, right? There's no barcode, those kinds of things. Again, the card moves around a little bit. The other thing, it seems to me, as I'm preparing that submission that I was just talking about, it seems to me there's a cost advantage. You don't need a subscription to submit for SGC, if I understand this right. whereas you do for PSA. The cost per card for PSA is more. You know, it's like $13 versus $10 per card, depending on how much the card is worth. So I understand people talk about resale value in the PSA slab is higher. I get that. If you're in it to flip cards and those kinds of things, maybe that's a better option. But if you're a collector, and especially on vintage cards, anything with a white border I find particularly nice. So that's probably why these tobacco cards look so good, I think, in the SGC holder. I'm starting again to have this epiphany that maybe as I pick up cards, I'll pick up more SGC. I think I'll still pick up PSA cards. But as I'm building my portrait collection, it seems to me that maybe the SGC slab is the way to go. So, I don't know, I'm interested in your thoughts, and just wanted to do a quick kind of video in comparison to document this, and this is kind of what I'm thinking about in terms of my own collection. And lots of folks out there know a lot more than I do, so I'd be really keen to see what you have to say, learn from you, and so on. So anyway, thanks for watching this kind of quick novice comparison on the ground as my collection evolves between PSA and SGC. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you for the next video.